Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie, aka Peachy Craft. Today I'm filming my first ever sketchbook tour, and this is actually the Strathmore hardback version. It's the mixed media sketchbook. Obviously the soft cover is really popular, but I just prefer hardback because it's more sturdy. Obviously soft cover, you're more likely to bend the pages, but that's just me. I'm a bit heavy-handed with my sketchbooks, so I always prefer hardback. And mainly in this sketchbook I use gouache and watercolour, and this is the first sketchbook I've ever completed since high school, which was quite a while ago, so this is going to be a fun video. So sit back, relax and enjoy the sketchbook tour. Okay, so this is the first page. Just thin paper. It's literally just the binding of the sketchbook, I guess. This is a print from, I think she's called K.Kindy or K.Indie. I used to be subscribed to her on Patreon because she just does really cutesy style art. And this is a print that I got. Obviously not too much going on with this page. And then the next page, this is a fun little thing to do, which I think really improved my anatomy skills and being able to draw things to scale accurately. So basically I just get loads of references off Pinterest and I draw straight with a fountain pen. I don't do pre-sketches or pencil drawings. I just go ink on paper straight away and just start drawing the pictures that I see on my iPad I normally use. So it's just really helped me with improving my anatomy skills, I think. So these are all drawn straight with fountain pen. And then here is some more. I actually asked for some suggestions on Instagram and loads of people suggested loads of different types of birds, and just obviously I drew some. My favourites are obviously this little blue jay. I think he's a blue jay, but he just looks really cute. I like this one as well. I actually like this picture so much that I actually did a painting of it, but it didn't turn out that great. I think it's actually in this book, so you should see it soon. And obviously the chicken is always for a win. So yeah, and then next page. So this was an Instagram challenge which someone asked me to take part in. I don't really do many Instagram challenges just because they take a lot of time, but if you do contact me directly, I'm normally quite polite and I'm normally like, yeah, sure, I'll take part. So this was the hashtag snow globe art challenge, and I think it was just drawing animals in snow globes or setting prompts in snow globes. It was really fun. Again, this is just ink fine liner, and then we get on to my first really kind of diving into traditional gouache. So I use Holbein gouache and I've only just bought them, and I think this was actually the first painting I did using Holbein gouache. So you'll see the paint itself is quite thick. Obviously I'm still getting used to it. I think now when I use gouache I tend to use it a lot more thinner and in layers, and I build up the opacity. What did I call this? I called it Hercules the Dream Bear. I can't remember what that means. My partner probably helps me name it because he likes like Greek names and things like that. But yeah, I think it turned out quite nice. And then again, just another fine liner drawing, going straight in with fine liner ink, no pencil sketching. And then this is actually a watercolour portrait of my daughter Penelope. And then I just went on top with coloured pencil just to add, like you can see the shading, that's all done with coloured pencil, and just the details like the clothing, the print on the clothing, I used coloured pencil for that. But yeah, this was probably one of the first portraits I did where it looked really realistic and I was really proud of it. So yeah, I love that one. Next page is another Draw This in Your Styles on Instagram. And this is just my take on it. This is when I started getting really into portraits. I'd not really done portraits before this because obviously portraits are hard. It's hard to make things look realistic. But I just started delving into it, and I was really happy with how this turned out as well. I love her blue-black hair. Just some loose floral sketches using watercolour and fine liner. This was actually inspired by sketches and scrubs on YouTube and Instagram. She also has an Instagram channel. And then this again is another Draw This in Your Style. on Instagram, just of a male character. I did accidentally make his skin too pale. On the person's actual character, he is more tanned. I'm not very good at mixing darker skin tones with watercolour. It's something I need to get better at. So if you do have any suggestions, let me know. Like, how do you mix darker skin tones? I have no idea. I have tried watching videos, but it's just hard. So yeah, I accidentally made him a bit too pale. So if I were to do it again, I would definitely deepen his skin tone. But again, this was watercolour and coloured pencils. Again, another loose florals inspired by sketches and scrubs using watercolour and fine liner. It's just a nice way to fill up a sketchbook page, I think, if you're not sure what you want to do and you just want to feel a bit inspired. Just get some paint, splash it on the page and see what happens. It's always a bit of fun. Oh, so this spread, this is a really pretty spread. So these are actually screenshots from the game Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and they're just locations in the game, and I really like this spread. I think it turned out really pretty. Let me just turn the page here. Obviously this one is my favourite with the Sleeping Guardian, and I just loved the combination of the orange and cobalt teal. I think it just ended up looking really nice. So yeah, I love this spread. I actually haven't looked at it for a while, so it's nice. It's nice to look back at it and see how the spread actually turned out. So this is when bonsais were really popular on Instagram. There was that whole trend with reels going around. So obviously I had to dip my toes into it. So this is a bonsai. I think the picture is actually off Facebook. And it's just of a really ethereal looking bonsai. I think it turned out cute. And this is using my Holbein traditional gouache again. And you can see I've really started experimenting with underpainting. You can see the pink highlights underneath the fur. And that's all from the opera pink underpainting that I did. Again, another bonsai. This one's a bit more fun, a bit more toon looking. Still looks realistic, but he's definitely got that fun factor. This would make such a cute birthday card, but it's such a niche thing because there's actually not that many bonsai owners in the world. Like, it's a lovely dog, it's a beautiful dog, but there's not many people who actually own them. But I just think it's super pretty. Again, bright pink background, one of my faves, so gotta love it. And this is traditional gouache again. So this was me experimenting a bit with I just bought my Neo Colour 2s. So I used watercolour and them just to see what kind of textures I could create. So this is obviously a nice landscape with like mountains and a little fence going off in the distance. And then if I turn my page, it's just kind of like, I suppose I'd describe this as like farmlands, I think it might be. And I love the mark making in this bush. I'm not a very abstract artist. I tend to get caught up with trying to add too much detail so things just look messy. And I loved how simple yet efficient this was at kind of creating that illusion of leaves. I think it turned out really good. So had lots of fun with that. I think it turned out great. And then again, this is another traditional gouache painting, which traditional gouache has quickly become probably one of my favourite mediums. The only thing is that it's messy in terms of cleanup compared to watercolour. Obviously watercolours, I use them dried in pans. So cleanup wise, there's not that much cleanup, whereas gouache, it's a wet medium. The paint, you don't use it dry, you use it wet straight from the tube. So cleaning up is a bit more messy. You've got like palettes and things to wash at the end of the day. But I was really happy with how this turned out. I actually made this into prints and I sell it on my Etsy shop. And I've sold quite a few actually, which I was quite proud of. But again, pink underpainting to highlight pink features and just two pretty bonsais cuddling. I thought it was a really cute idea. And again, this is me kind of experimenting with Neocolor 2s. I did this one and I loved the kind of transition from pink, blue, yellow. I just think it looks really pretty. And this one, I did actually use Neocolor 2s, but it didn't turn out good. It turned out quite ugly. So I think this is actually acrylic gouache, which I actually think this is the only time I have used acrylic gouache. And it's not my favourite medium. I much prefer traditional gouache over it, just because I suppose it's your preference. I like the capability of being able to re-wet the paint on the page. Obviously loads of people like acrylic gouache because it doesn't re-wet and it stays there, but I like the capability of re-wetting. So I don't really use acrylic gouache, but I did have fun using it when I tried it out on that. This is like a fail page. I tried sketching some boar's eyes, but they just weren't looking cute, so I kind of gave up. Oh, and then this is where I live. There's like a marina, so I went down to the marina and I took some photos. Then I used my fine liner technique where I just draw straight with pen, no pencil sketches. So that's what this is. And then I went on top of it with watercolor. I used my Schminker watercolor, which Schminker isn't my favorite watercolor brand, but I do have them and they're expensive, so obviously I try to use them when I can. But yeah, I think this turned out well. It looks pretty, so I'm happy with it. Oh, and then there's that bird from the fine liner sketch in the beginning. This is the actual painting of it, and I just think it turned out quite flat. There's not much definition to the bird. It looks very 2D. So that's why I don't like it, but it is nice. It's an okay painting. It's just not my favourite. And then another loose floral sketches. This time with green ink, which I don't think turned out quite as well, but it's just, you know, it's fun to experiment and things like that. Oh, and then this is a fun page. So these are actually sticker designs that I did. A company reached out to me asking if they could print out some stickers for me. So I submitted some designs, and these are the stickers that I made. You can buy these stickers on my Etsy shop if you did like any of them. So we've got the legendary sword from Legend of Zelda. We've got Pokemon 1, 2, 3, 4. A Celeste Animal Crossing sticker, which is actually my favourite, but I've not sold that many. I think I've sold 2, which was surprising. And then a little Korok from Legend of Zelda as well. Oh, and then this is, I was part of like a, I don't know what it's called, like an art challenge on Instagram. I was one of the hosts, and this week was self-love, so I decided to do a self-portrait. So this is me. My hair isn't this red, but obviously it's art, so you can kind of like exaggerate things if you wanted to. So this is my self-portrait. I was really happy with how it turned out. Again, it's watercolour and coloured pencil. Obviously missed a page at this point. Oh, and then this is another week, which I can't remember what the week was called, but it's just some cute frogs and then some lily pads. I think this spread turned out quite nice. It's quite a cohesive spread, and this is watercolor, and there's also colored pencils on this. Oh, and then this is week 2 community for that Instagram challenge I was a host of. I can't remember why I drew a raccoon. I can't remember, but I had fun doing it. It's not my favourite painting. I like the raccoon. I just think the background turned out a bit flat. Another blank page. Oh, so this is when The Last of Us came out, the new TV series, which I was really excited to watch because me and my partner, we really like the game. So this is the main characters from the series, and I think this is drawn from a photo. I used a photo reference, and I was just really happy with how it turned out. Again, just practicing my portrait skills. This is watercolor and colored pencils. And then I think we're at the end of the book. So this is like something I just gave up on. It just wasn't looking cute. And then for the rest of the page, I just used the back of my sketchbook mainly to swatch colours, new colours that I get. So that's all that is really. So yeah, that was my whole sketchbook tour. Let me know what you guys think. Did you have a favourite page? Did you enjoy the sketchbook tour? Obviously, it's always fun to experiment and try new things. And I think I did this a lot in my sketchbook. I haven't actually used this sketchbook since, like I didn't use another Strathmore afterwards, but I have got a new one in my kind of sketchbook stock that I am eventually going to use. The issue is I just buy so many sketchbooks because I get excited to use them, but I would definitely recommend this sketchbook. It's a really good sketchbook. So yeah, so thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to get future updates, and have a good rest of your day. Bye guys.